Find your free booklet on campus or download the Campus Cash app.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Gretna Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gretna Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gretna Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gretna Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GretnaTrucking.com.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at MidwestBank.com. Member FDIC.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben sandwich or the Prime Rib French dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Stretch, adjust, heal. At Spine and Sports Chiropractic and Physical Therapy, we believe in the power of precise alignment. Our skilled chiropractors listen, understand, and treat your body's unique needs, offering a personalized pathway to peak performance. Don't let back pain knock you out of the game. Step into our clinic and walk out with a renewed strength. Spine and Sports Chiropractic and Physical Therapy, pushing the boundaries of health and wellness. Treatment begins with you. Step back into life today.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Price Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street-legal carts come with both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
Our sense of smell can tell us a lot. Fresh baked apple pie, good. Cigarette smoke, bad. But what happens when bad things smell good? When secondhand vape smells like strawberries or mangoes or cotton candy and dangerous chemicals have a disguise. That's when people let their guard down around secondhand smoke, even though it's all full of harmful chemicals.
Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in to the Ticket Weeknights. I am Carter Longi, and I'll be bringing you guys through until we get to pregame of the Millard South and Gretna high school football game here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Jay Former will be out there in Gretna to call that matchup between two 3-0 teams, as they are going to face off, as one will look to stay undefeated and the other will suffer their first loss of the season. But as I was saying, we'll have about 30 minutes to kill here or so until we have to throw it over to Nick and Jay. So until then, I'll hang out with you all and then maybe talk some college football, NFL, and all that good stuff until we are ready to get to that high school football matchup. So once again, I'm Carter Longi. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You can also check us on our live video streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo, channel 951. So make sure you check us out in all those locations as well, so you can stay up to date on everything that's going on here at The Ticket. We just got into the brand new studio. It's my first time in here, and I can tell you firsthand, it is very, very nice. It's really nice to be in a brand new space. Got a lot of brand new equipment. We got new lighting, new equipment. We're a lot more accessible now, and it's a great feeling. It's a great place to be. So I'm excited to be here in the new studio, excited to be here with The Ticket, and it's just a really great spot to be in right now for everybody here that's involved. So as we kind of get ready to go here before this high school football game, let's take a look at what else is kind of going on in the world of sports, specifically college football and the NFL as we come into the weekend here, as that's always the talk as we move forward. So first, with college football going on, not a lot of real big time matchups going on this week. A couple notable ones might be Penn State at Illinois. Penn State favored by a couple touchdowns. They're a top 10 team in the country, but as we all know, Illinois can be frisky. Brett Bielema's teams always play hard. They play good defense. So we'll see. Maybe Illinois can kind of give Penn State a little bit of a test this weekend. LSU goes to Mississippi State. Mississippi State 2-0 right now. LSU, of course, suffered that season opening loss to Florida State. So we'll see if they can kind of continue to get things back on track here. And of course, an SEC matchup's always going to be, somewhat entertaining. So we'll see if Mississippi State can kind of hang with LSU for a while. South Carolina going down to Georgia. Georgia's a 27-point favorite, but I think that could be a little bit more interesting than a lot of people might think. I think they have a chance to make the defending champs a little bit uncomfortable. I don't think they're going to go into Athens and win, but I think that they can at least maybe go push them a little bit. And Spencer Rattler's looked pretty good this season. He was a top, recruit coming out of high school for a reason, and I think he'll continue to show that he still has that talent. He's just got to, kind of put it all together, and we'll see if he can kind of continue to do that as they go take on Georgia down there in Athens. Other matchups of note, Minnesota going down to North Carolina. That's a pretty small line, really. North Carolina favored by 7 points. Obviously, Minnesota with that 3-point victory over Nebraska in the season opener, and now they've won in their second game in a row. Now they go down to face a North Carolina team that's 2-0 as well. North Carolina actually just suffered a little bit of an upset scare last week. Appalachian State took them to double overtime. North Carolina ended up being able to squeak it out, but, obviously a little bit of a scare there. So now we'll have another unranked matchup. This time it is against a Power 5 opponent and a Big Ten team in Minnesota. So we'll see if Minnesota can go down there and make Drake May and North Carolina a little bit more uncomfortable than maybe they'd like to be. But again, we'll have to just kind of keep an eye on that. Other games that are going on, again, not a whole lot of real interesting matchups to keep an eye on. Washington does go to Michigan State, but again, they're favored by more than 2 touchdowns. But you never know. Again, Power 5 opponents facing off. There's always, a little bit of a chance that somebody could pull something off, and we'll see if Michigan State can defend their home turf a little bit and make Washington a little bit more uncomfortable than they maybe like to be. Other games, as we kind of move down the docket here, Tennessee going to Florida. That's another one that a lot of people keep their eye on. Florida and Tennessee, kind of a rivalry there, of course, going back to the years. And now Tennessee going down to the swamp. They're still ranked 11th in the country. They're 2-0. But Florida, of course, now down there with Graham Mertz. And again, it's still an SEC matchup. It's a conference game. So obviously the stakes are always a little bit raised. Again, it's a rivalry game. Florida may be 1-1 and maybe haven't looked, super, super impressive at this point. But Tennessee only 5.5 points favorites. And, Vegas makes that line for a reason. They obviously think that Florida is going to give Tennessee a little bit of a test down there in the swamp. Moving forward, I guess probably the last game that's maybe of interest on the docket is Colorado State at Colorado. Obviously an in-state game. It's a rivalry game. It's in Colorado, in Boulder, so they go back-to-back at home. They've got big noon kickoff, or excuse me, not big noon kickoff. That was against Nebraska, but game day. ESPN Game Day will be there, I believe. So, yeah, definitely a lot of interesting stuff going on there. Obviously, Jay Norvell made some comments, and Deion Sanders took it personally once again, as he's said multiple times this season. He will take it personally, and they use that as fuel at this point, as much as, I still don't like Colorado and, kind of those types of things, they are starting to kind of put their play where their mouths is. And it's starting to get kind of a little bit nerve-wracking, I think, for some of these teams and, media people and stuff like that had said Colorado won't ever be anything and had completely written them off before the season even started. But they brought in a lot of new players. They got a lot of talent on that team. And although Dion might get a little bit annoying, sometimes, and especially for Nebraska fans, probably don't really, like him too much. You can't deny that the guy knows how to win as a head coach. He knew how to win as a player. DP was just saying it there on Old School. He's one of the greatest athletes of all time, possibly the greatest athlete of all time, depending on who you ask. And, obviously he knows how to lead men, and he gets his guys ready to play every week. So we'll see. Maybe Colorado State can go in there, make things interesting. Colorado, though, is favored by more than 3 touchdowns. 23.5 is the line. Over under currently set at 63. Pretty high line there, but I still wouldn't be surprised if that game goes over. Probably gonna be a lot of scoring once again. Shadur Sanders, very, very good. Yeah, I haven't been on air yet since that Colorado game, but that was obviously a disappointing loss for Nebraska. And, I hope that they can bounce back this week with NIU at home. But, we got to hand it to Colorado at some point. They are better than I thought they'd be. I still think that they're eventually going to get a little bit of a wake-up call, and it could come as early as next week when they play Oregon. I don't think they're going to be, some people are saying playoff team. I don't see that at all. I still wouldn't be surprised if Colorado only ends up winning, maybe 6 games, 7, if that really even. I mean, they still got a tough schedule in front of them. The Pac-12 is very good this year. I think it's even better than people thought it was going to be. So, they still got to play like a USC, an Oregon, teams like that are going to probably give them a little bit of a wake-up call. And once they face a team that has the speed that they have, but also has the D-line and O-line that they don't have, that's probably when Colorado's going to get a little bit of a wake-up call. But as of now, although we are Nebraska, we don't like Colorado. Colorado, I guess, keep enjoying yourselves for now, because I feel like it is going to come to an end soon. But again, I will give them their props. They're better than I thought they'd be. And Dion, people, he might get annoying, and he's not the most fun person to listen to, depending on where you stand as a fan. But you got to hand it to the guy one way or the other. He's a good coach, and he knows what he's doing down there at Colorado, and he knew what he was doing at Jackson State. And so at this point, you just got to kind of respect it. But moving forward, let's talk about the last game that's kind of on the Saturday docket that I'm sure you guys probably want to hear me cover a little bit, and that is Nebraska and Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois coming into town, Nebraska, with their first home game in the Matt Rule era. It's very, very exciting, right? Obviously the Matt Rule era has not gotten off to the start that everybody wanted it to. It's not quite what Nebraska fans were hoping in terms of coming home for our first home game and being 0-2. I think there was a lot of hope out there that there was a chance that we'd be 2-0. In worst case scenario, maybe we're 1-1. We lose to a better Minnesota team on the road, and then kind of thought that we'd be coming off a big win against an old rival in Colorado. But as I just got done saying, Colorado ended up being a lot better than we thought. Obviously, Nebraska still, shot themselves in the foot a lot that game, and they got us to get some of those things figured out. But, nevertheless, we are playing an opponent who, without a doubt, should be a lesser opponent in terms of talent and things of that nature. Speed, size, strength, everything about this game really should line up in Nebraska's favor. Of course, the one thing that we still don't know about, and Northern Illinois is probably their one advantage, they have a 7th-year starting quarterback. So that's, something worth noting. Although he's, been at Northern Illinois now, and, probably, I don't know, I guess, if he's been there his whole career or not. I haven't looked into him too much. But, he hasn't, maybe been a big-time starting quarterback in the Power 5. But 7 years is 7 years, and you get a lot of experience in 7 years. You get a lot more comfortable, and you're just, you kind of know what kind of situation you get yourself into. So that is an advantage for Northern Illinois, because obviously Nebraska, our probably biggest problem so far this year, I think anybody can admit, has been quarterback. Jeff Sims, we're trying not to harp on him too much. He's still a kid, and we got to cut him some slack here and there. But, ball security has been a massive issue. Now he's a little banged up. We don't know if he's going to play for sure or not. So, those kinds of things, those factors are against Nebraska in terms of this game against Northern Illinois coming up. We don't really know, I guess. Those are kind of the variables. We don't know exactly who's going to be under center. And when we do find out who's going to be under center, we don't really know what we're going to get, I guess, because Jeff Sims, obviously the one thing that he's done really well so far for Nebraska is running and moving around, moving the pocket, and, scrambling and picking up first downs with his legs and things like that. That's been the one thing that he's really been able to contribute a lot to. It's really the reason that fans quit calling for him to be benched last week, as they came out of halftime and he ran for that big touchdown. But at the end of the day, he's got to clean up the turnover issues, and now he's got a little bit of a banged up ankle. So if he does play, that kind of takes away the strongest suit of his game, and so you can't utilize it as much, and that kind of just makes him even a little bit more lesser than he was. But I mean, again, I'd like to hope that Jeff Sims can turn up the turnover errors in 1 week. He has issues turning over the ball, and unfortunately, we hoped that we could kind of coach it out of him and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, sometimes when you've got issues, that's kind of just an issue that stays. There's not really coaching it out. When it's kind of stayed around this long, it's tough to kind of get rid of it. So I'm not going to completely write off Jeff Sims, and I'm not going to completely write off Nebraska. But at the end of the day, Nebraska is going to go as the quarterback position goes, because although our defense has looked very good, obviously in the Colorado games, things kind of got away from them. They maybe started trying to do a little bit too much. I believe Matt Rule touched on that a little bit as well. And that's, understandable. Their offense didn't put them in good positions, so maybe they tried a little too hard to come up with the big plays, and that ended up, kind of breaking down some coverages and, missed tackles, missed hit sticks, maybe trying to play a ball for a pick and ends up just kind of barely getting caught for a first down, stuff like that. So hopefully the offense can play better and help the defense to not have to try and overcompensate by making plays that end up actually just hurting the team. But we'll see. Obviously we've still got some decent players around. The offense, hasn't looked great at all, but Gabe Irvin's had, some couple decent games. He's had some good runs here and there. The problem is, in the first game, Nebraska just kind of went away from the run. And in that second game, they really kind of had to go away from the run, unfortunately. I mean, at one point in the game, you probably could have said, okay, let's just stick to the game plan and just try and, take possessions away from them. But at a certain point, hindsight's 2020, but every single, football fan would probably say to themselves, if they're in the coaching position, at a certain point, you got to start throwing the ball if you're down by enough points. But the problem is that Nebraska just hasn't had much luck throwing the ball. Obviously, the receiving core isn't anything special. They're not, I wouldn't say they're, a complete disservice. I'm not going to go that far to say that, but they're unfortunately just not really anything special. We don't have a game breaker this year like Trey Palmer that can go out there and really just drastically change things. And then again, back to the quarterback situation, it's like, we have Jeff Sims, and again, we're going to try and, stay as positive as possible. Hopefully we can get things figured out. But for the people who, want to keep complaining about it, at a certain point, you just got to realize this is who we have. We have Jeff Sims, Heinrich Harburg, and Chubba Purdy, and that's our quarterback room. It's not a great quarterback room, but that's who we picked, and that's who we're going to have to roll with. So at a certain point, Nebraska is just going to have to figure out a way to stay in games and hopefully win games with that quarterbacking group. Can they do it? I guess we'll find out here going forward. But this is a great game this week to really, kind of test the confidence, maybe get some confidence back. If Jeff Sims can't go, I guess we'll get to see the Heinrich Harburg experience. But I think if Jeff Sims can go, I know everybody's kind of been saying it this week, but I'm going to, repeat that thought process. And that's that if Jeff Sims can go, if he's healthy, you got to play him. Because obviously, he probably knows better than anybody that he, hasn't played very well so far. I'm sure he's lost a lot of confidence. So the whole point of a game like this Northern Illinois game, and then next week with Louisiana Tech, these games, the whole reason that a school like Nebraska or any other Big 10 or SEC or Big 12 team, or any other Power 5 team schedules these games is confidence builders. They want to play a little bit of a lower team, kind of beat up on them a little bit, and then, kind of gets the confidence up, and then you can kind of get back out there and get going. Paul Crew in The Longest Yard said it best. He told the warden, you got to beat up on somebody smaller. So they played the convicts, and, obviously didn't work out for them. But let's hope it works out for Nebraska this week against Northern Illinois and going forward again with Louisiana Tech. But that's going to wrap it up here for this first segment here on the Ticket Weeknights. Once again, I'm Carter Longy. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Make sure you check out our live video streams as well, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 951. We got high school football coming up here real soon between the Gretna Dragons and the Millard South Patriots. So make sure you stay tuned for that, as Jay Foreman and Nick Sainert will be on the call from that over there in Gretna. But again, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to talk a little bit of NFL, and then I'll throw it out to Jay and Nick for high school football right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hot tub season is here, and to celebrate, Bonds on Pool & Spa is having a sale so good that they're offering it up for the whole month. Soak up the savings when you purchase a new High Life Collection or Limelight Collection spa and receive a free step and cover lifter from now through the end of September. Stock will go fast, so hurry in and claim your new spa today and soak up the savings at Bonds on Pool & Spa, 33rd and Highway 2, or at bondsonpool.com.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Nick is here. What'd you call him earlier? Yeah, he had a name. He said a name. Can you hear Nick?
I said you look like a big swimming pool. You look like a big swimming pool over there. I called you Big Swim.
Big Swim.
All right. Should I tell the people what you called me the second week that I ever worked here?
No, don't hang that over my head.
There's a track record here.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Price Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street-legal carts come with both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
Gretna Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gretna Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gretna Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gretna Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GretnaTrucking.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this fall. Check out their large variety of tennis shoes and dress shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln, or check out their options online at brownshoefitco.com.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Ticket Weeknights. Once again, I am Carter Longi, and you are listening to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. We are here in our brand new studio down here in Lincoln at 11th and O. So we are right here with the Mill as well. So if you want to ever come stop by, grab a cup of coffee, and come listen to all of our great shows here at The Ticket, feel free. And if you're walking past, give a little wave. And yeah, it's fun being down here, being a little bit more accessible. A lot of new equipment, stuff like that. And it's just a really great setup down here. So it's good to be here. Now we're going to move into maybe talking a little bit about the NFL before we get you out to Nick Sandert and Jay Foreman for tonight's high school football game between the Millard South Patriots and the Gretna Dragons. So that game is going to be coming up here at 7 o'clock. We'll throw it up to pregame with them probably here in about 15 minutes or so. I know Nick just texted me. He's dealing with a little bit of traffic, but hopefully he'll get in there, set up in time, and then be on air or anything like that and kind of discuss that either. So we'll just kind of do a whole little NFL roundup, get you ready for week 2 and things like that. Obviously, we already had Thursday night football happen between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles went on to win that game by a final score of 34-28. The Eagles improved to 2-0 in the season. Vikings fall to 0-2. The Vikings, they definitely had a little bit of a problem there. I'm not going to lie. The defense is not good. It wasn't good last year, and it's gotten only worse this year. So we'll see if they can kind of, figure that out a little bit. This is probably the last year of Kirk Cousins in Minneapolis. So, that kind of puts a timer on things as well. They don't really have a succession plan in place at quarterback either. So that's also cause for concern with the Vikings. I'm going to guess best case scenario in terms of their quarterback play next year, they either just say, whatever with this season and they go in tank mode and go get a quarterback at the top of the draft. Or if they don't, and they're still kind of competitive towards the end of the season, and they're kind of making a push for the playoffs, and then whether they make it or not, they probably re-sign Kirk Cousins again, and we'll see kind of what happens there. They'll probably have to overpay for him again. I don't really think he's worthy of real top money. I think he's a top 10 quarterback, but I think he's just barely a top 10 quarterback. I'd put him at probably 9 or 10 on my own list. So that's just not really a guy that you want to be paying too terribly much money to, because that kind of puts you in a bad situation for the rest of your team. Also, Justin Jefferson, of course, will need to be paid eventually. So the Vikings are in a tough spot right now. They either got to, really find a way to make that defense much better, or they're going to have to, kind of just go into rebuild mode here. Get rid of Cousins, maybe get a new quarterback and just kind of turn things around all over the place in hopes of maybe kind of getting things back on track there in Minneapolis. But right now, it kind of looks bleak. As for the Eagles, they looked good again. They're 2-0 now. Last week against the Patriots wasn't really their best showing. And I wouldn't say that, this past week was particularly, amazing by any means, but, they got the job done. They were in control of the game the entire way. So I'm not going to act like, it was a 1-score game, but it wasn't like, Vikings were hanging around the whole time. The Eagles were up by 2 touchdowns almost the entire game, and they kind of just let the Vikings in there right at the end. I didn't really ever feel like they put the Vikings away, but at the same time, didn't ever really feel like the Vikings had a chance to win. So I guess that's kind of the way I look at it. DeAndre Swift with a heck of a performance there in his hometown. Obviously, he'll be playing there a lot now, but he had 28 carries for 175 yards and a touchdown. That was just a super, super impressive performance by him. And we'll kind of see how the Eagles want to handle that running back room going forward, because obviously, Kenneth Gainwell didn't play. Who was kind of it was always going to be a running back by committee, but he was kind of the presumed, slightly number one. I believe it was supposed to go kind of Gainwell, Swift, and then Rashad Penny. But after this game from Swift, depending on how the rest of the season goes, we'll see if maybe they want to give him the bigger share of the carries. We'll have to kind of keep an eye on that. Obviously, Minnesota's run defense not very good at all, so I'm not going to look too much into that, but it's something worth noting. So the current runner-ups and the defending champs of the NFC continue to just kind of take care of their business, and the Vikings, who were expected to, maybe compete for the NFC North this year, looks like they're probably just going to continue to fall because they just have not looked very good at all the past couple weeks. The first week, offense had some struggles. Cousins turned the ball over a little bit. And then now this week, the defense looks really, really poor again. And I think there's definitely cause for concern there in Minnesota. Now moving on to our Sunday slate, we'll take a look at what we got coming up. I'll give you some of my predictions on how these games shake out and things like that. And then also maybe kind of hit on some storylines that we have from each of these teams as the season moves forward. So first up, moving on to our noon o'clock, that doesn't really make sense. Our noon games on Sunday. First up, we have the Packers and Falcons. They'll be playing on Fox on Sunday. Atlanta is 1.5 point favorites. It is down there in Atlanta. I am a Packers fan, so a little bit of disclosure there. However, I'm going to be a little bit of a homer here. I'm going to go with the Packers. I think they beat Atlanta down there in Atlanta. I just think the Packers are more talented, to be completely honest with you. The defense is very good, and the offense looks better than I thought they would. I mean, Aaron Jones is a little banged up, so we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that because he is right now their best offensive player, and I don't think it's particularly close. But if he's healthy and ready to go, I think the Packers definitely win this game because he is a weapon for that team and really helps with the offense. Jordan Love looked better than I really could have hoped in his first game as a Packer. I guess in the first game as the full-time starter as a Packer, first time he's had a full offseason as the starter to prepare for everything, like stuff like that. And he looked better than I thought he would. He wasn't anything super crazy special, but he did what he needed to do, and he put the team in position to win. Right, the defense was good. They played very good against the Bears, and I think the defense will be good going forward. Obviously, the Bears probably one of the lesser teams in the NFL. Not probably. They're definitely one of the lower tier teams in the NFL. But I still think the Packers defense is going to be solid this year going forward. So I still have confidence in that. And then if Jordan Love can just, kind of be a game manager and just not really turn the ball over, take care of the ball, stuff like that, I think the Packers put themselves in a really good position for the season going forward. And I think they might end up making a push to the playoffs, which I didn't expect. Again, I'm a Packers fan. I did not expect them to compete for the playoffs this year, but I really hope they do. And we'll see how the season kind of goes going forward. Obviously, Atlanta, very inexperienced still. Desmond Ridder there at quarterback and a lot of young pieces all over the place. So we'll kind of see how they shape out as the season goes along as well. Excuse me. The Raiders and the Bills are going to play at 12 p.m. on CBS. The Bills got to win this game, right? They looked very, very bad. That they're going to bounce back. I think they absolutely have to. Josh Allen needs a bounce back game here through 3 picks in week 1. But the Raiders are 1-0, right? They maybe garnered a little bit of respect there in week 1. They only beat the Broncos, which isn't, the craziest team to beat there in week 1. But they got the win. So they're going to go in there to Highmark Stadium there in Orchard Park. And they're going to try and give the Bills a little bit of a test. But I do think the Bills get out of here with a win. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit of a blowout too, because I think the Bills are going to be itching to get out there and kind of show the NFL that they're still here. That week 1 was a little bit of a fluke there, right? Moving on, another 12 p.m. game on CBS is going to be Ravens-Bengals. The Bengals are favored by 3 points as of now. Both these teams really kind of need to bounce back. I mean, the Ravens got a win last week, but Lamar Jackson looked pretty bad, right? I think it's fair. But it seems like the only person that's getting criticized is Justin Fields, which I can agree with. And again, I'm a Packers fan, so I get a little bit of hatred for the Bears, but I don't really think it's fair because they got similar play styles. They both didn't play very well. Excuse me, sorry. Throat's getting pretty dry here. I didn't think either of them played very well, but Lamar hasn't really gotten the same hate, and he needs to bounce back, and the Ravens need to bounce back a little bit here as an offense, and so we'll see what they can do there in Cincy. Joe Burrow, though, also very, very bad last week. He's going to need to bounce back as that whole Bengals offense does. The only one who really had an okay game last week was Joe Mixon, but everybody there just needs to play better. I think the Bengals have a little bit better of a bounce back here, and they get the win over the Ravens here in week 2. Seahawks and Lions, 12 p.m. on the and Geno Smith are going to repeat that same season where they made the playoffs and things like that. So we'll kind of have to keep an eye on it. But I think the Seahawks take a step back, kind of regress a little bit. As for the Lions, I think they're for real. I don't think the win over Kansas City signals they're going to be a contender by any means, but I think they definitely make the playoffs. I don't think they're a Super Bowl contending team, but I do think that they have a very good chance to make the playoffs and possibly even win a playoff game going forward. So I'm going to take the Lions to win here in week 2 as well. Next up, we have the Chargers and the Titans. Both 0-1. I think the Chargers win this game in Nashville. I just don't like the Titans very much, really, the way that their team's made up. Derrick Henry's obviously very good, but Ryan Tannehill is just not a good quarterback. I've never liked him. I don't think he's going to be, anything special. Never was, never will be. Justin Herbert is, though. Justin Herbert is special, so I think that he will continue to, push the Chargers forward. Oh, I'm really sorry. Tater just said on the text line, I need a tablespoon of honey, and he's absolutely right. I'm really struggling here with the sore throat here. And obviously nobody to bail me out here on the mic with me. But anyways, Chargers, I think they get the win over the Titans down there in Nashville. So Herbert, I think, bounces back a little bit. He didn't have the greatest game against Miami, high-scoring game, but it was really the ground game that carried it for the Chargers. But I think Herbert shows out this week against the Titans, and they get the win. Rounding up the 12 p.m. slate here, Bears Bucks, kind of a battle of bad. We don't need to touch too much on that. I think Bucks win, though, at home. Chiefs Jags. Chiefs are looking for a bounce back here, but I don't think they get it against Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville is going to be really, really good this year. Trevor Lawrence, I think, is a MVP candidate, and I think this team is going to be a playoff team for sure. They won the division. I wouldn't be surprised if they go on to win 13 or 14 games. Their schedule isn't very tough either. This is probably one of their toughest games. But the Chiefs didn't look great last week. Obviously, they should have Travis Kelce back. They'll have Chris Jones back, so I think they'll be better. But down there in Jacksonville, the Chiefs are favored. But my uncle's a big Chiefs fan. Brings me to a lot of Chiefs games. So very thankful for that. But unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go against his team here. I'm probably gonna take the Jaguars to win at home in Jacksonville. And then the final game in the 12 o'clock slate, we have the Colts and the Texans. Again, kind of just a battle of bad, but 2 rookie quarterbacks. So that's why it's kind of most exciting. Anthony Richardson versus C.J. Stroud. Both of them are 0-1. Houston's favored by 1 point. I think I'd probably take the Colts. I think the Colts should win this game. I think Anthony Richardson right now looked a little better than C.J. Stroud so far. And the Colts, just in general, have a little bit more talent at this point in time. I think Austin said it, though, in old school. The defense for the Texans, a little bit better than probably people expected. But we'll just kind of see how that one shakes out. That's a tough game to predict, but I'm probably going to take the Colts. Now, I'm going to take a quick break because I'm really struggling, as I'm sure you guys can all tell, to kind of get through this. So hopefully I can maybe find some water here, something like that, and kind of get through this last segment. Or there might be a chance that when we come back, we'll throw it out to Nick Sainert and Jay Foreman for the pregame show between the Gretna Dragons and the Millard South Patriots. But as of now, we're going to go to break, and when we come back, it'll either be me or it'll be Nick and Jay. But stick around. We got more content coming up for you here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters.
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner. Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat. Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Our sense of smell can tell us a lot. Fresh baked apple pie, good. Cigarette smoke, bad. But what happens when bad things smell good? When secondhand vape smells like strawberries, or mangoes, or cotton candy, and dangerous chemicals have a disguise. That's when people let their guard down around secondhand smoke, even though it's all full of harmful chemicals.
Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association on this station.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
They are our love bugs and companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life better. When we face unexpected challenges, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people and their pets. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The captain.
That's why the captain's here, because I don't do offense. Like, I can't break it down like he does because that's what he do. He's an offensive guy. But I can see things on defense that he can't see.
That's a lie.
Because
you can see things at linebacker.
You're not a
coach.
I'm a head coach. You're not a coach.
I'm a head coach, sir.
You was a coach. Now you're on the radio. You're on the radio now. Your coaching days are over. You don't coach nobody.
Yeah, I am too. I'm an armchair coach.
Yeah, that's right.
I get to talk about coaching.
It's August, and that means summer is winding down and the kids are back to school with lots of fall activities coming up. All great things, but also cause lots of stress. Instead of letting your nerves get the best of you and cause uncomfortable tightness, get ahead of it all with a massage from The Body Shop. The Body Shop in Lincoln is your place for all types of massages. Deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Book your appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ticket Weeknights. Once again, I am Carter Longy. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Also, make sure to check out the live video streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Also, Allo Channel 951. But once again, thank you all for tuning in with us here at The Ticket. Once again, in our brand new studio down here on 11th and O. Good to be down here, and good to be getting back to some programming here after a slight little blackout there last night, but now we're back. So all good things here. Again, once we got high school football coming up here In just a couple minutes, we're going to throw it out to Nick Sainert and Jay Foreman for the pregame show between the Millard South Patriots and the Gretna Dragons here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. But before we do that, let's finish running through these last few games here on Sunday. And then, of course, Monday Night Football for the NFL this week. We had Giants and Cardinals. Giants got embarrassed on national television last week, so they'll be looking to bounce back. The Cardinals, I think, are the worst team in the NFL. So I think the Giants get a bounce back win here away. They're favored by 4.5 points, and I would not be surprised if they cover that spread. Their America's Game of the Week here on CBS 325 is going to be Jets and Cowboys. That's going to be on CBS again, as I mentioned, 1-0. Both those teams looking to get to 2-0. Cowboys definitely the better team here, though. They're favored by 8.5 points. The Jets, obviously, this would be a different game if Aaron Rodgers was playing, but he is not. So, that really changes the stakes here in this one. But we'll see what Zach Wilson can do. I think it was Austin who said they're an old school, kind of the Kirk Ferentz type of style here now. Maybe rely on the defense, see if they can't force some turnovers, and just kind of hope that, Zach Wilson doesn't, ruin the game. They still got Breece Hall. They still got Dalvin Cook. They still got Michael Carter. They still got Garrett Wilson there in the receiving room. They've still got weapons on offense. Question is, can Zach Wilson, game manage enough and just get the ball into their hands and not lose the game for the Jets? But I think the Cowboys win this week for sure. Commanders and Cowboys, a little bit of an interesting game there in Denver. I think the Broncos win. Nothing too terribly exciting. Two teams that are supposed to be just kind of mediocre, I think, this year. But I think the Broncos win that one at Mile High. Sunday Night Football, Dolphins and Patriots in Foxborough. Dolphins favored by 3 points. I do think they get the win. Obviously, that offense probably won't be as explosive as it was last week. It's tough to do that, kind of in back-to-back situations like that. But we'll see if they can still put up some points there against Belichick. Mac Jones, he looked pretty good in week one. We'll see if he can kind of keep it up. But not the most exciting Sunday Night Football game. I know it's a divisional game. But, I would have liked to see something maybe a little bit more interesting. I don't know. The Patriots, ever since Brady left, just haven't been real interesting to me. But we'll see. Maybe it'll end up being a good game. Hopefully it will, because obviously it shouldn't be too hard to beat this past Sunday Night Football's game, because that was a disaster. Monday night, we got the doubleheader. That's very common here early in the season on Monday night. Saints and Panthers. Pretty boring game. The NFC South is pretty bad, but I think the Saints win that one against the Panthers. And then we have Browns and Steelers to wrap things up for the week. Could be an interesting game. Browns looked decent last week. They beat the Bengals, obviously. And then the Steelers, of course, with Kenny Pickett. He had 2 picks last week. We'll see if he can kind of bounce back a little bit. Maybe get things going again there for Pittsburgh. Cleveland favored by 2.5. And once again, I think they probably cover that spread and win the game and advance to 2-0. And I think the Steelers probably end up dropping to 0-2. But with that, that's probably going to do it for me. Obviously, I've kind of struggled here through this last couple segments. Voice is really kind of giving out on me here. I've been sick for most of the week. And then now, of course, it's not the easiest when you got to go on your own here. Got to fill a lot of space by yourself. But hopefully I didn't have to cut out on you guys too often. But thanks for, kind of hanging out with me here for about the last, 30, 40 minutes or so. But now I'm going to throw it to a quick commercial break. And then when we come back, it's going to be Jay Foreman and Nick Sainert live from Gretna for the Millard South Patriots versus the Gretna Dragons in a Class A Nebraska high school football matchup right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, and they've scouted out the best Kawasaki side-by-side deals for you. Score up to $2,500 off the 2023 Kawasaki Teryx and up to $1,000 off Mule Pro FX and FXCs. Whether you want to handle the toughest task in a trusted, tried and true mule or looking to dominate adventure in a Teryx, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of Kawasaki side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down. Offer valid from 9/30/2023. Subject to change without notice. Offer available on approved purchases of select new unregistered Kawasaki vehicles. Model and year exclusions apply. Cannot be combined with promotional retail financing rates.
Stretch, adjust, heal. At Spine and Sports Chiropractic and Physical Therapy, we believe in the power of precise. Spine and Sports Chiropractic and Physical Therapy, pushing the boundaries of health and wellness. Treatment begins with you. Step back into life today.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Discovery Days will give you the opportunity to experience SCC firsthand this fall. Discovery Days provide information about SCC's programs of study, how to pay for college, SCC support services, housing, activities, and more. A campus tour and lunch are provided. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back. For sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com. Allo is here to give you the FYI. Are your shows buffering? We know why. Are your games lagging? Don't deny. Your work calls dropping? Here's the FYI. Your old school internet company can't keep up. They give it a try. Their network isn't enough. Don't get trapped in their gimmicks and lies. It's time to fiber your internet with Allo. Honest, local, and hassle-free is what we stand by. Experience Allo Internet. Visit allofiber.com/FYI.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Are you ready to upgrade your combine? Don't wait. Act now to choose from the widest selection of used combines at Acres Equipment. Acres, Nebraska's leading John Deere combine dealer, is offering 2.9% interest for 60 months on over 100 pre-owned combines. Each combine includes our A-plus uptime program to keep you running flawlessly throughout harvest season. Go to acres.com to view a huge inventory of low-hour, late-model equipment. Find what you like, and we'll deliver it to your farm for free. Acres, solutions for every field.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
This is a presentation of high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. High school football broadcasts are presented by Next Ag Appraisal and Realty, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Spine and Sports Chiropractic and Physical Therapy, Southeast Community College, Members-Owned Credit Union, Doane University, Sunbelt Rentals, NDOT Highway Safety Office, and Play It Again Sports. Now, calling all the action, here's Nick Sainert and Jay Foreman.
Deserved vacation wherever you go. One distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, and they've scouted out the best Kawasaki side-by-side deals for you. Score up to $2,500 off the 2023 Kawasaki Terex and up to $1,000 off Mule Pro FX and FXCs. Whether you want to handle the toughest task in a trusted, tried and true mule or looking to dominate adventure in a Terex, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of Kawasaki side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down. Offer valid through 9/30/2023. Subject to change without notice. Offer available on approved purchases of select new unregistered Kawasaki vehicles. Model and year exclusions apply. Cannot be combined with promotional retail financing rates.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Discovery Days will give you the opportunity to experience SCC firsthand this fall. Discovery Days provide information about SCC's programs of study, how to pay for college, SCC support services, housing, activities, and more. A campus tour and lunch are provided. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust.
At Doane University, you can play a sport you love and also receive a world-class education. You'll learn leadership skills on and off the court that will set you up for success long after graduation. Doane isn't a place where you get lost. It's a place to get found, and it's a place where your future is uniquely yours. Learn more about the endless possibilities at Doane University today at doane.edu.
Carter Laundrie back here again really quick. Unfortunately, having a little bit of technical difficulties out there at Gretna and, well, probably here in the studio as well. I'm not really sure what the issue is here. So unfortunately, we are going to have to just send it to national here for the rest of the night. Really big apology here from everybody at the station. Obviously, with the move, things like this can happen. Something must not have something got knocked out or programmed around something. So we're going to figure it out though, and we are going to have that ready to go so that everything will run smoothly here in the future. But unfortunately, we will not be able to bring you Millard South versus Gretna tonight here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. So that's going to do it here for us tonight. Again, I'm very, very sorry that we were unable to bring you tonight's game. But again, we will get this sorted out, and we'll be able to bring you all your high school football programming and all your regular
Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.